Today, we are diving deep into one of the most foundational, powerful, and just intensely practical principles in Islam. It's a statement so short you could almost miss it, but it's so profound that really taking it on board can reshape your entire approach to life, to faith, and to your own personal growth. So, what is this powerful principle? Let's get right into it.
The statement, a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is this. I'll say it in the original Arabic first, just so we can appreciate its rhythm and its power. Min husni islami al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. And what that translates to is, part of the perfection of a person's Islam is his leaving that which does not concern him. Just let that sink in for a second. Its beauty is in its simplicity, right? But its power is in its depth. It's a direct, clear-as-day key to unlocking a more focused, a more serene, and just a higher level of living.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to treat this like a full-on lesson. First, we'll start by understanding the text itself and why its unique wording is considered so incredibly significant. Then, we'll methodically unpack its 4 core benefits, one by one, to see how this single principle can guide our ambition, our focus, our time, and ultimately, pretty much every word we say and every action we take.
To really appreciate this principle, we first have to understand why this specific, super short sentence is considered a miracle of prophetic speech. Its power isn't just in what it says, but in the sheer elegance and efficiency of how it says it.
You see, the Prophet was given this unique gift known as Jawami al-Kalim. It's right there on the screen. It's the ability to use really concise language to get across these huge, comprehensive meanings. Think of it as the total opposite of rambling. It's speech that is just dense with wisdom. And this hadith, it's a perfect example. In just a few words, it lays down a single elegant rule you can use to navigate countless situations in life. It's kind of like the ultimate life hack for clarity and focus.
So, and this is the crucial point, this isn't just some nice piece of advice or a gentle suggestion. It's meant to be used as a precise standard, a measure, a filter for your daily life. It's a tool you can pull out in almost any situation to help guide your conduct and stay true to your moral compass. Before you speak, before you act, before you even let yourself worry about something, you can apply this filter just by asking yourself, does this truly concern me?
All right, so now that we get the weight and precision of this principle, let's dig into the first major benefit of applying it. And it all starts with a powerful shift in mindset. Seeing faith not as this flat, static thing, but as a journey of continuous improvement and refinement.
Now, what's so cool here is the specific wording of the hadith. It says part of the perfection of a person's Islam. The Arabic phrase is min husn Islam, which really means from the beauty of a person's Islam. That wording is so key because it implies that Islam has levels, degrees of beauty and perfection. There's a baseline, and then there are these higher levels of excellence you can strive for. This one phrase turns faith from a simple checklist into this whole spectrum of excellence. So this principle, then, becomes a direct motivation for self-improvement. It encourages a high-minded ambition, a spiritual drive to climb to higher stations, to constantly refine and beautify your character and your practice. It's a total call to action.
So if that first benefit is all about aspiring higher on the inside, the second benefit is about how that changes our interaction with the outside world. This is where the principle gets incredibly practical in our day-to-day lives, really guiding how we focus our energy and our attention.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the internal battle this hadith helps us win. On the left, you see our natural human tendency. Let's be real, we're curious creatures. We often have a desire to pry, to know the details of other people's lives, to search for info, to interfere, and maybe the most common one, to focus on the flaws we see in everyone else. But then, look at the guidance from the hadith. It directly counters all of that. It trains us to respect other people's privacy, to mind our own business, and to actively fight back against those natural, but ultimately unproductive inclinations. And most importantly, it redirects all that wasted energy. Instead of focusing out there on the flaws of others, it turns our gaze inward, towards our own flaws and the lifelong project of fixing ourselves.
Okay, so this leads to a pretty logical question, right? If we take all that time and energy we were spending on things that don't concern us, gossip, pointless arguments online, scrolling for hours, worrying about other people's choices, and we just stop, what are we left with? What's the most valuable resource that we suddenly have a ton of, that we now have to manage?
And the answer, of course, is our time. It's our most finite and precious resource. This brings us right to the third benefit. Understanding this principle as a powerful shield that protects our life, our energy, and ultimately, our faith.
When you stop engaging in what doesn't concern you, you immediately start preserving your time, those precious moments of your life. You're no longer letting your limited lifespan just drain away into useless stuff.
This frees you up and it encourages you to actively invest that time you've reclaimed into what is beneficial for your faith, your family, your health, your work, your community. It also protects you from that mental, emotional, and spiritual exhaustion that comes from chasing pointless matters. So, the bottom line is this: the cost of wasting your time isn't just lost minutes. In the context of this hadith, the cost is a direct loss in the perfection and the beauty of your Islam.
Okay, so if we're protecting our time, what are we protecting it for? This brings us to our fourth and final benefit, which really shows just how comprehensive this rule truly is. It governs the two main ways we spend our time and express ourselves in the world, through what we say and through what we do.
The principle of leaving what does not concern you has to be applied across two fundamental domains of our entire existence: our speech, our statements, our words, and our actions, our deeds, and our behaviors. So let's break down exactly what that means for each one.
Now, what's really amazing about this is the level of detail. In the category of speech, this principle means we save our tongue from the obvious stuff, like falsehood, but also from backbiting, idle chatter, and any conversation that has no real benefit to our faith or our life. But look at the category of actions. This is where the principle gets incredibly deep. It's not just about leaving the clearly forbidden things, it also includes avoiding things that are disliked, things that are in a moral gray area. In this illustrates the highest level of application. It even includes avoiding excessive permissible acts. These are things that are technically allowed, but they don't bring you any closer to God and they serve no real purpose in your ultimate journey. Someone who's really striving for excellence doesn't just ask, is this allowed? They ask, is this beneficial? Does this concern my ultimate purpose?
So we've gone on a whole journey here, haven't we? From one single, short sentence to a complete philosophy for living a more focused, purposeful, and spiritually elevated life. To really lock this framework in, let's bring all four of these powerful benefits together one last time. So to recap, applying the principle of leaving what doesn't concern you is really built on these four pillars that help you perfect your faith. First, you aspire to a higher level, understanding that faith is this dynamic journey of growth. Second, you focus your energy inward on your own self-improvement, not outward on what everyone else is doing. Third, you protect your time like it's your most valuable, non-renewable asset, because it is. And fourth, you guard both your speech and your actions from anything and everything that is just plain useless or unbeneficial. And so we come full circle, right back to these powerful words. Min husni islami al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. Part of the perfection of a person's Islam is his leaving that which does not concern him. Hopefully, after this detailed explainer, you can now feel the immense weight, the wisdom, and the practical guidance packed inside this miraculous phrase.
And that leaves us with one final practical question to take away with you. Just look at your own life, your own habits right now. What is one conversation, one online argument, one worry, or one activity that, if you're being totally honest with yourself, doesn't actually concern you? And what would it look like to consciously choose to leave it for the sake of perfecting your own path?